It is 8:30. It is the 27th day of January 2021. I am your grumpy guide to all things gaming, the OGGM, and it's raining. Yes. So the superstorm has hit California. It's supposed to last for the next 3 days. We'll see if that's true or if it peters out like most storms have lately. Okay, it is time for the weekly update of what to expect on the shelves at your friendly local game store. Now remember, as always, these dates are tentative. Support me, Coke. I need a sponsor, and I will sell out. These dates are tentative because, as I repeatedly said, all shipping from Amazon, Uber, FedEx, Fred the mailman, has been delayed because all the priority is getting the vaccine out from all the shipping companies. So if you're expecting a product to be on the shelf this week, do not get upset because it's not, because remember, again, all these dates are tentative. Okay, so let's go. What can we expect on the shelves this week at Seth's Games and Anime here in Ventura or your friendly local game store? The reissue of the Heroes Feast official Dungeons & Dragons cookbook by 10 Speed Press. All right, so this will be the second printing of this being out. The first printing was out in October. It was a limited release. I picked it up. So now this is the general release for Heroes Feast. So if you haven't had a chance to pick up Heroes Feast yet, go pick it up at your friendly local game store. Get some D&D Inspired cooking done. It's $35. And speaking of cooking, we also have from 10 Speed Press something called Dungeon Meister, which is the Drink Master Guide. So this is 75 RPG-inspired cocktails for so if you feel like getting a little G&D drinking going on, check out Dungeon Meister, a Drink Master's Guide, which is D&D and fantasy-inspired cocktails. And not to be outdone, Countryman Press has released a title called the Necronomonomnom Recipes in Rice. It's from the lore of H.P. Lovecraft. So this is a cookbook, all the recipes inspired by Lovecraft and Cthulhu, with such exciting recipes as Deep Fried Deep One. So if you want to pick up another cookbook with some, Cthulhu mythos and some jokes in it, this is available. Frog God Games has a product out called 1975. This was originally published in 2010. It's a hex crawl, and it's talking about old school play in D&D and other role-playing games. So the reason why they chose the name 1975, because that is, pretty much agreed upon the year when Dungeons & Dragons first saw recognizable print. I mean, I don't know. Can't think of any other reason why they would call an adventure 1975. So this is $16. It's from our friends over at Frog God Games. It is called 1975. Speaking of Frog God Games, we have the 5th edition version of their very successful Hall of the Rainbow Mage available. So this is an adventure for 4 to 6 mid-level players. For 5th edition, Hall of the Rainbow Mage is one of their old school new rules OSR adventures. They did it for 3rd edition, and now this is a version of the same game for same adventure for 5th edition. I had Hall of the Rainbow Mage. It wasn't my favorite thing they did, but it definitely had some good stuff in it. So if you are a fan of Frog God Games and their world, check it out. Okay, so we have from Rowan, Rook, and Descartes. For Spire, the City Must Fall, we have Spire, the Kings of Silver, Spire, Eidolon Sky, and Spire, Blood and Dust. So these are 3 adventures for the Spire role-playing game, Spire, the City Must Fall. So there you go. So some support for Spire. Then we have a Game Master's Fantasy Toolkit from Roll and Play called, strangely enough, Roll and Pray. This is a fantasy systemless 120 random tables for fantasy role-playing, including people, quests, world building, journeys, events, combat, blah, 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 blah. So if you want a book with a lot of great random tables and want to support a small company, check out Roll and Play from Roll and Play Press. It's $19.99. Okay, and speaking of random tables and stuff like that, we have from Adams Media, the Ultimate RPG Character Backstory Guide. It's a workbook to add details to your PC, fill in the blank narrative prompts and activities, So it's basically a folder, a blank notebook with some like questions and answers and stuff like that to help you get into your character backstory. So if you feel like spending $14 on your D&D character to get a notebook, go ahead. Support Adams Media. From Weird, we have a new release for the Penny Dreadful Through the Breach series. It's called Days Without Incident. So it's a adventure set in Malefic City. It's set in the world of Malefux, which has got those really great figures. Penny Dreadful is their name for their small modules for the Through the Breach role-playing game. So if you're looking for a little arcane, punk, weird, fantasy kind of thing, check it out. And finally, from Troll Lords Games for $12, we have a Castle and Crusades mug. This is a white mug with the Castle and Crusades logo on it in black. So if you need a new coffee mug, I want to support Castle and Crusades, Troll Lord Games, check it out. It'll be $13. It's supposed to be at the shelves this week at your friendly local game store. And that is, as far as we know, all the titles we can expect on the shelves this week at our friendly local game stores. If you're here in Ventura, check out Cess Games and Anime on Main Street. If you live in Northern California, go to Barry Oster's North Coast Role Playing in Eureka, California. Other than that, please go to your friendly local game store in your area and ask them to carry these products for you. Don't get them on Amazon. And remember, again, these dates are tentative because all shipping for things like your game is put on the back burner to get the vaccine out to all the people who need it. Like me, I would like to get the vaccine so I can go back to work. If you appreciate the content and want to see more, hit the notification button and subscribe if you haven't had a chance to subscribe yet. So help me hit 500 subs by August 4th. Until then, stay warm, and I will talk to you later. Let's make some recipes from that D&D cookbook, y'all.